Hello, today I want to make a guide for EDC for normies. Now, if you don't know what EDC stands for, it means everyday carry. And essentially what that just means is what you carry quite literally every day. Now, you might think, well, duh, but if you do know what EDC stands for, you know that there's a lot of things that kind of is in this EDC micro niche hobby. Essentially, a lot of EDC stuff is sort of borderline prepper, but let's kind of just go into what a lot of people carry. So this is the r/EDC Reddit list, and this is the pin post of like recommended gear. It is actually a very nice pin post, and I really enjoy it. But a lot of things are knives, flashlights, pens, watches, multi-tools, keychain tools, which are multi-tools but smaller, wallets, water bottles, medical gear, belts, bags and backpacks, pouches, lighters, pry bars, pliers, other miscellaneous gear, which includes like one phone charger, notebooks, guns, holsters, and so if you are what I'm just saying in quotes, a normie, someone like me, a lot of those don't actually apply to you. You probably be like, wow, that's a lot. Now, here's the thing every single person, no matter who you are, has some form of EDC because, let's be honest, we live in a life that we need to carry things on us, most notably our phone and our wallet and our keys, which I did not put in my room when I made this video. But essentially, I broke down EDC into 4 categories, and I wanted to make this video as a guide for basically normal people who don't need all of these things and help you uh, basically make your carry more efficient and more helpful. Because have you ever, there's like kind of 2 ways about this. One, do you ever find that you wish you had something, but you have to wait until you get home? That's one scenario. The other scenario is, do you ever just find yourself like way too encumbered that you just like don't want to bring it out? Because I've been in both of these scenarios. For one, I live in a very safe neighborhood, and sometimes I just go down to the post office and I tell my roommates, "Don't lock me out," and one of them will hear it, and the other one won't, and so I get locked out of my own house because my keys were too bulky. Oh no! And so I also know that a lot of EDC, as you could tell from this starter pack list, is a lot of EDC is focused towards like masculine, rugged, survival, outdoors, self-defense, and essentially, I none of these apply to me. But there is a lot of things that I do find helpful in the EDC hobby. Now, I do also want to be wary. I want to warn you that if you are not someone who is into EDC, or even if you are, EDC as a hobby is first and foremost a spending hobby. It is a hobby about collecting gear that you think you need for your everyday carry. And the actual carry about it is something that you theoretically don't want to worry about. I'm the kind of person that I want to get one carry every day, no matter what. Doesn't matter what season, doesn't matter what I'm wearing. I want to have something that I do once and never worry about. A lot of EDC is about the chase of gear that to make it better, and that's something that I want to warn you about. Now, even if you're someone like I have a purse, me, Chelwang, I don't carry a purse because I don't like wearing things on me. But there are tips. Let's see, is this one? No. Yeah. So if you do carry a purse, this might be something that's really helpful to you. A handbag organizer where essentially if you have multiple purses because you have multiple outfits, accessorizing, it's a part of your outfit in a sense, but you don't want to be able to have to take everything out of your purse and put it into another purse, your carry. So if you have one carry that you want, you put everything in your purse organizer and you put that in your purse. And if you want to take a different purse, you take the box out from inside your purse, put it in another purse. That's really helpful. There are also pouches, which I will go into. Nope, not that tab. But basically, I use a Viperade pouch. Hello. You know what? I think it's just easier if I hold it up in front of the camera. So in front of the camera here, let me just switch to me. I have a little pouch that I stick in my pocket. So I don't carry a purse because I don't like wearing bags around my arms or my shoulders. I don't really know what to do. Backpacks are a little overkill for my everyday go-to, but for a lot of people, it's really helpful. If you have a laptop that you need, that's super normal, all sorts of things. Again, I want to make this be something that is for everyone. So again, here is my EDC for normal. As you can see, I have these 4 categories. Necessary, your things that you need every day. Your phone, your wallet, your keys, Some people even combine these two. Like my roommate has a phone case that is also a wallet, has their ID, their credit cards, and cash. So they're carrying one less thing. I personally have enough stuff in my wallet that I don't actually want a minimalist wallet. But let's go next to situational. Now, a lot of these things that you see here in this knife is probably situational, but if you're like my mom who is afraid of knives, that's pretty normal. But I think a multi-tool, like a Swiss Army knife, is a very reasonable situational tool. I'll just write multi-tool. So, hello, I have a band-aid on my pinky. So if you are someone that like my multi-tool has like a screwdriver, a bottle opener, scissors, these are all things that are like pretty normal to have as a situational need. Sometimes you need scissors, sometimes you need a bottle opener. It's pretty normal. And what's nice is that a multi-tool is a nice, easy, compact way to carry a bunch of situational things. Let's say also, sometimes tissues, super lightweight and easy. Whoopsies. That was an accident. But that's like a nice, normal, lightweight, situational thing that you could need, but not necessarily necessary, right? And there are a few other things like maybe I'm a knife enthusiast, and I do find that a knife can be helpful for me, but for a lot of people it's not necessarily what they need every day. In fact, I don't need it every day. Now, emergency, this is obviously things that are for things that are like in case you're in danger. A lot of people will carry a gun, which I don't want and need. But like there's like a fire starter kit. Some people will carry a lighter because like if they smoke or they just need fire. I don't smoke, but a lighter is a pretty common situational carry. And so for some people, it's like, oh, if you are a camper, like I don't go camping, I don't really do hiking or anything. There's that. There's like a whistle. A whistle is a very lightweight item that some people will carry. I can't spell. And then there are other things like a lot of like some people will carry a tourniquet. I'm like, that's a lot. That's a lot for me. And some people, a lot of people will carry flashlights too. It's like really popular in EDC to have a flashlight and a pen. Let's put pen in. So like here's hello. Da, 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 da. For me, pen is a situational carry because I don't always need a pen. I'll just do pen /notebook. But there's a lot of things that like first aid maybe is also here. First aid. So there's a lot of things that like people will have for emergencies. In case there's like there's basically 2 adages for EDC. The first one is need what you carry what you need. The second one is you'd rather have it's better to have something that you don't need than to need something that you don't have. Now the tricky thing is that a lot of people put a lot of weight into emergency, and I'll get into that. Lastly is for fun. This could be like a fidget toy. Some people like to have little fidgets on their keyring. Some people like vape or smoke. Lung stuff I'm tempted to write, but let's just say vape. A lot of people vape. I don't personally very often. But here's like something that might be a person's carry. If you have a purse, these might be things in your purse. If you have a backpack, let's say you have a laptop, like so some people like a laptop might be part of their necessary daily carry because of like what they do. That's normal. Also, this is just a super like general outline. Like for some people, a lighter is part of their necessary or a knife is part of their necessary. Like based off like if you're a craftsperson, a tradesperson, someone who works with like cars, maybe a multi-tool is something that's part of your daily carry. For me, it's not. So yeah. And then maybe, if you're someone that finds a pen /notebook to be like really important to you, that might be necessary. So essentially the first thing that you want to do is if you find yourself wishing that you were carrying less, the first thing you want to do is you want to pare down what you're holding. Obviously, necessary means like you cannot leave the house without it. Or if you leave the house without it, it will suck. It will be bad. Like when I leave my house without my keys. If I accidentally lose my wallet, that's that's a big problem. If I don't have my phone, big problem. Situational are things that you need on a semi-regular basis that is like not too weird to carry. So like for some people, like for me actually, here's one that I didn't put down. Duh, duh, duh. Chapstick. Super normal. I don't always need it, but it's so small, it's so light, and it's so ubiquitously common that like carrying chapstick is one of those things that like maybe you need it sometimes. Not all these things are things that you might need. So like if you're someone who doesn't need a lighter, then like you don't need to carry one. If you're finding yourself carrying a bunch of things and it's just too heavy, it's too cumbersome, either you can consolidate things like a multi-tool. You can have scissors and a screwdriver and a bottle opener all in one little thing, and a knife. You can nix knife out of here. And that's like a nice easy way of removing things. Having multi-tools are really helpful. And then emergency and for fun. Now, these two categories, I feel like a lot of people put way too much stock in emergency. It's borderline prepper, and there is overlap in prepper and emergency, and EDC. And I will say that like knives are also like there's an overlap with EDC. That's how I started to like look into EDC stuff. But I do think that some people put too much stock in emergency to the point where it just kind of ceases to be helpful or rememberable or thing. Like if you're carrying too many things that you can't keep track of what you're carrying, that's an issue. You want to be able to know what you're doing. Like for me, first aid is something like I flip knives, I touch knives, I accidentally cut myself like trying to like it hurt. But like first aid is helpful to have, right? And you can get a nice cheap Johnson & Johnson $2 first aid kit. You can get it at anything. Like I bought mine on Amazon, but you can get it at CVS. These are so easy to get. And so a lot of people will have so many things. So like I don't carry a gun. I don't need a flashlight. There's just a lot of things that I don't necessarily need. But I do think that for fun, some people will be like, oh, I need to cut out everything for fun in order to make space for all this stuff. I actually think that it's really important to have things that you carry for fun. Like I carry a Balisong for fun because, this is a Balisong channel. It's just something that I really enjoy. It's a really big part of me, actually. And like someone I dated likes to have little like fidgets, and it's just good to like have things that make you happy that you use every day. It's not necessary, but if you use it every day, then it's worth carrying. So like don't cut out the things that are for fun. I will say just make sure that your emergency isn't overboard, and if your situational is too much, consolidate things. Now the next thing I want to get into is this triangle. The capacity, this big box, this is your capacity. If you have a purse, your capacity is bigger. If you have just pockets, your capacity is smaller. If you have a backpack, then your capacity is huge. Now this triangle is basically a matter of balancing between these three things. So size, you want your carry to be small, because the more you're carrying, the heavier it is, the more uncomfortable, blah, 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 blah. Well, actually, weight is the other thing too. We'll get to that. So a multi-tool is smaller. It carries a lot of things and not a lot of space. It's nice and small. Weight. Some things are going to be very small but kind of heavy. For me, my phone charger, it's a bit beefy, but it's also like one of the smallest I could find. And then function is a matter of like how small can you go, because the smaller something is, the less helpful it is. A multi-tool will have a small knife, but the knife is going to have, it's going to be less weight and it's going to be in a smaller capacity or smaller size, but the function of that knife is going to be less flexible. If you're someone that needs to just do a quick little cut for like a letter, that's normal. You need tiny scissors, that's normal. But if you're someone that needs to cut through a lot of boxes, maybe that's part of your job, then a multi-tool knife might not be worth it. Similarly, I have a pen that has a flashlight on it. It is much lighter than carrying a regular flashlight, but the flashlight itself is not very good. It's a very cheap pen. It was 12 for 3 pens, flashlights, laser pointers. So, small, very light, but the function is not very good. This is just something to be aware of, that like your capacity, if you are someone that wishes you could carry more things, then the pocket pouch might be good for you. You know, there are things that are clamshell style that you can carry a bunch of things inside this zipper up like pouch. Now, the other thing is that like some tools are like a lot of multi-tools are made with stainless steel because steel is inexpensive, it's durable, it's strong, but steel is heavy. It's heavier than feathers. Now aluminum is much lighter. It's a little bit more expensive sometimes than steel because, you know, there's just, you know, it's not, I wouldn't say novelty. It's just that steel is so ubiquitous that like it's really really cheap. But then there's titanium, and titanium is a really premium metal that's lighter than steel, but more durable and more hardy than aluminum. So in that case, you know, if you're getting a multi-tool thing that is made of titanium, it can actually be the same size and the same function, but less weight than steel. This is just an example. Now, that brings me to my other thing. Now, the last thing I have here, very simple, budget versus premium. This is a whole spectrum, but honestly, the way I see this is it's almost like a light switch. It's kind of like you have budget or you have premium. And yes, of course, there's lots of things in between, and how much budget there is versus how premium something is. A lot of times, something that is the cheapest thing that you can get is gonna have shit function. Now, that said, what do you prioritize? For me, you know, budget is something that you're willing to lose. It's something that you are easy to replace. It's something that's not going to break the bank. Premium, if you're going to use something every day, it might be worth buying something premium, you know? If you use a knife every day, a premium knife might be worth it opposed to a $30 knife, you know? Or a little tool, you know? Some people like to have really nice expensive things. There's a lot of people who are really into EDC, and again, it's a spending hobby, so people will have like all titanium, all carbon fiber, all black data or whatever, and it's a lot. I don't have I don't make that much money, so I actually tend to lean towards budget. Now I will say that if I needed a multi-tool, so like Victorinox makes Swiss Army knives. Swiss Army knives are not that expensive. They're very good. They're classic for a reason. If you need something that's more heavy duty, like pliers, Leatherman is a company that makes incredibly good multi-tools. You've probably seen them before, but a Leatherman multi-tool is a premium thing that's got a long warranty, and that's one of those things that, like, if you need a multi-tool and you're willing to carry that big hefty thing, then paying that extra amount for a premium multi-tool could be worth it. Now for me, I don't need a premium carabiner. If I do carry a carabiner, I'd probably just carry a normal sized regular ass carabiner. But essentially these elements, these three things, you know, you want to make sure that you're prioritizing your necessary and then situational, and then balancing between emergency and for fun, because again, emergency is the idea of like in case something goes wrong, but more often than not, I'm gonna need a tissue, that I'm gonna need a tourniquet, right? I'm tempted to even pack I don't need a tampon, but I'm tempted to pack a tampon because I'm more likely to come across someone that needs a tampon than I'm going to come across someone that needs a tourniquet. And I know basic CPR, but I am not an EMT. I'm not someone who I think has the ability to like really make such a big difference that, like, you know, like, again, a tourniquet's a lot. I could use a jacket or I could use a belt. But I think it's a lot to like try and just be like, I need this always, all the time in case. So balancing between your four categories, finding something that's the right capacity for you, capacity versus convenience. You know, the bigger the capacity, the more things you can carry. But of course, the bulkier it is, the more heavy it can be. And then finding a nice balance between these things for your carry. And then, of course, remembering to balance between budget and premium. You know, if you need you know, again, premium is like if you really need something or you really like something. Like some people will buy a $150 pen made of full titanium with a bolt action. I don't use pens that often. But if you do use pens that often, it's not a bad idea to treat yourself to something that you use every day. You know, if you really like it, that could be worth it for you, you know? If you're someone that like needs a really powerful flashlight, or you just want a really powerful flashlight, you can buy things premium. But for me, like, there are a lot of really inexpensive things. You know, obviously everyone's got a pen in their home. Everyone's got like a cheapo flashlight. You know, there's always so many things. So what is a good balance for you? Anyways, I hope this was helpful. If you find anything in this video to be helpful, let me know. If you're my therapist, tell me that you watched my video, because I'm making this for you, kind of. But yeah, essentially, I just wanted to make this video for everyday people who are not EDC people. You know, my sister, my family, my friends, my roommates, my therapist who I was talking to about this. But if you are someone who is into EDC, I hope that this was kind of maybe a different take that was helpful for you in terms of like how you organize things, reevaluating things. If you find yourself overwhelmed or over encumbered or under encumbered, like, what do you do? Basically, this video is for anyone that is looking to improve their everyday carry, but without breaking the bank and without the rabbit hole, because it is quite a rabbit hole. If there's anything that you feel like I forgot, please feel free to comment. If there's any specific thing that you found helpful, let me know in the comments. If you donate to the coffee in the description, it will help me a lot, because I'm making this for fun. And I don't know, I just want people to be able to be happy and carry what they need without feeling like they don't have what they need in a certain moment. Like, dang, sometimes I forget my chapstick. But, you know, having a pouch or having a little carry thing, it can be nice, because then you keep everything you need in a single pouch, right? I will, in my next video, go over what my EDC carry is. And I'll give a little breakdown of what's in my own pouch that I carry, because it is just my phone, wallet, keys, and pouch. And that way, I don't forget anything that I might need situationally. So stay tuned for the next episode. Click that subscribe bell, that like, all those things, you know, and stay tuned. I will go over what's next, and I will talk about also the things that I carry that not everyone needs, and what you can possibly replace it with, if this is something that you're interested in. So thanks for tuning in. Have a good one. I normally say happy flipping, but happy living your life without feeling like you are over encumbered or under encumbered, you know? Yeah, have a good one. Shoutouts to my sister, who is still stuck in the first dungeon in Oblivion, over encumbered by rotten rat meat. This could be helpful for her Oblivion character.